Yeah, this is one of the important topics in public-private partnership. All of you are aware that dispute resolution in PPP projects. This is quite common that happens between the both the parties, both private and public partners, in completing certain projects, whether it is related to infrastructure, whether it is related to social sector, or whether it is related to any other construction related. The disputes are quite common in some of the partnerships. It may not be applicable to each and every partnership that is happening in the between the government and private, but there are some incidents that have happened. And recently we have seen one dispute in Hyderabad metro construction between the government of Telangana and that construction company. So they have gone to the court and or some kind of mediation and all such things. They have resolved the dispute, and now they have completed the project. And now that facility or the service is being used by the public properly, and they are enjoying it. So the dispute resolution in any kind of agreement, it's not only in the public-private partnership. If two institutions are working together and two organizations are working together and two international agencies are partnering with each other, and there may be some kind of disputes, and these disputes are to be resolved in a proper way and with the kind of effective mechanism. That is very, very important. When we go into the uh, details, yeah, this is the introduction where we are talking about what what is the dispute resolution is all about. The dispute resolution is talking about a disagreement or dispute during the contract. I am working with a, government organization or government department as a private company, and there is some kind of disagreement with the contract which I have entered. And during this contract, if any kind of dispute arises, that is to be managed properly and resolved properly. This is what we talk about. Disputes have the potential to damage the relationship between the project company and the procuring authority. It has huge potential to damage the relationship between both the parties. So that is to be avoided as much as possible and resolve it at the earliest. And in addition to that, the service levels will be affected when we are talking about the dispute resolution and the occurrence of disputes during the contract period. This will also affect the service levels of the contract. For example, if some contract is signed between both the parties to complete within 3 years, there is some dispute arises in between of 2 years or 1.5 years after they enter into this contract, and the project may get delayed, and some kind of problems may arise, and if they go to court, and it takes its own time, and a lot of delay and lot of financial resources are involved and invested. So many things will be a problem in this particular kind of disputes. The most important goal in the dispute resolution is we need to make decisions that will ensure the project moves forward without any difficulty and in a sustainable manner while maintaining the value for money. And the money is of public. When we are talking about public private partnership, the money is being given by the government and the private companies. They are putting their efforts, their efficiency, and their infrastructure and their technological expertise and other capabilities that they possess. And the government will provide the money, and they will provide the guidelines, and they will ask the private entities to complete the projects within the stipulated time, and that service to be made available to the public within the 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, or 10 years, depends upon the quantum of the project. So this is what we should learn about dispute resolution, and what is the general procedures that we learn. Understand the rights and obligations of the procuring authority, and use contractual provisions to protect the rights of the procuring authority rather than disciplinary measures. we need to understand what are the rights and the responsibilities, what are the rights and the duties, or rights and obligations. This is very, very important when we are entering into the contract between two different parties. If you can understand the rights and obligations, and it can move forward smoothly, quickly, and effectively. Monitor the performance of the project company to be aware of potential issues and to mitigate the risk of disputes. If we can understand the potential issues between two different parties, that is private and public, in some cases there may be some issues related to environmental issues. Some kind of activists, they will come forward and they will create some problems. And sometimes the private companies will think of something different, and the reality will be something different as far as the location is concerned, as far as the that land is concerned, as far as the weather is concerned, and some of these issues. So what are the potential issues in this particular partnership, and how we can mitigate the risk of disputes? Mitigate means the minimizing, the preventing the risk of disputes. That is very, very important in the public private partnership between the government and the private. And the next one talks about the settle the disputes, settle them early. Whatever disputes that are arising, there are various mechanisms. You need to be receptive to client. You have to be approachable. As a government organization, we have to be approachable, and we need to work with that private entities. Then only you will be able to settle them at the earliest where it is appropriate to do so. And there will be some kind of complicated disputes which cannot be controlled by you. So such things um, may be forwarded to the various platforms, starting from the dispute resolution board, through the mediation, arbitration, court proceedings. As such, many mechanisms are available to dispute resolutions. So otherwise, we will have to identify the potential issues and mitigate the risk of disputes and settle them early by understanding the rights and obligations of both the parties. When we talk about this, the disagreement and dispute objectively, we should not look into any kind of dispute as a overall problem of both the companies, both the parties. One is government and another one is, if you take some companies working in the infrastructure sector, and the same company also will work in the social sector. They are ready to construct the hospital. They are ready to provide the water and sanitation facilities. At the same time, the same company is capable of developing the infrastructure like airports, railway stations, bus stations, etc. So if there is some dispute between both the companies in terms of providing social service or social service projects, so we should confine to that issue rather than the relationship between both the different parties. The dispute should not affect an otherwise positive relationship. So do not allow a poor relationship with the project company to affect the approach taken to dispute, and do not let the existence of a dispute affect an otherwise positive relationship. So the disputes or the disagreements or the conflicts should be issue based. If the dispute arises to a certain or a specific contract between the government and the private, that should be confined to that particular project or that particular issue. And some cases, the entire project will not be a problem to both the parties, but some portions of the project, some technical issues, some kind of financial issues, and some kind of this what you can call standards that are maintained in a certain portions of the project. These are the things. The next one is, we need to clarify ambiguous and unclear contracts. So people should understand that what are the confusions or ambiguities in the drafting before it leads to dispute. That is very, very important in dispute resolution and this public-private partnership. Uh, the next one talks about settlement agreements are prepared. When you are going for the resolving the disputes, you need to ensure that settlement agreements are prepared with appropriate legal inputs. Otherwise, the same agreements are there. The resolutions may lead to another conflict between both the parties. Otherwise, therefore, the legal inputs to ensure the dispute or disagreement is unambiguously resolved without any confusion, without any kind of what you can call disagreement. The dispute is resolved unambiguously. So that is very, very important when you are talking about dispute resolution. Consider the relationship or escalating a dispute and the chosen dispute resolution mechanism. What kind of mechanism that you are choosing to dispute? Okay, there is a dispute between you and me as far as the particular contract is concerned. So how you are escalating or how you are resolving the dispute, what mechanism you are adopting? Do you know what are the mechanisms in the dispute resolution? Have you heard about any mechanism in any disputes? Are you following me?
It's mutual negotiation.
Okay, Rajesh, mutual negotiation. Sunil, Srikanta, how you can resolve a dispute, a kind of disagreement. You can think of in a general perspective. What can be the this mechanism to resolve the disputes? What did you tell, Rajesh?
Mutual negotiation.
Mutual negotiation means
We both part problem will be settled between the both parties. Within themselves, they will settle the problem.
okay, between themselves.
They settle the problem.
Okay, okay. Then
Then going to court.
going to court. Okay,
That's all.
that's all. Sunil, where are you?
So by conflict management, there are
Conflict
some
management.
techniques which we can use.
Conflict management.
And by discussion, by organizing meetings, regular meetings, understanding the objectives, aligning objectives and needs together.
Okay, together. Understanding the objectives and responsibilities together. Sitting together and discussing the disputes. Srikant.
Yes, sir.
Dispute, a kind of a disagreement between two different parties. How to resolve it? What are the mechanisms? How you can resolve it? For example, you and your company and you and me, there is some kind of a dispute, kind of a disagreement between you and me. You want to resolve it. How can you? What are the mechanisms to resolve it?
Sir, I don't know how, but as per my knowledge, sir, we can discuss each other and we can conclude one suggestion and by written and we can solve our problem. Yeah, that's also, sir.
Okay, it's a kind of a, with mutual discussion.
Yes, sir.
We can resolve it, right? So I am showing you some dispute resolution mechanisms here. There are some 6 important dispute resolution mechanisms, starting from negotiation, which all of you people have told, and there is another mechanism called mediation. Mediation means there will be some third person between two different parties. and there are there are boards called dispute resolution boards. Dispute resolution boards. Okay, the issue can be forwarded to the dispute resolution board, and there is the fourth mechanism called expert determination. In some cases, we need the experts to understand the dispute. Every issue may not be able to understood by the parties or the people, but there is a requirement of an expert if something related to technicality, something related to something deeper of the project or the proceedings, something like that. And there is another mechanism called court proceedings. If both the parties are not coming together and they are not listening to the mediator, they are not negotiating, and the issue is not resolved in any of these mechanisms, then they will go to proceed to the court, and court will decide and give the final judgment that is to be followed by both the parties. And the last one is arbitration. Arbitration is another mechanism for the dispute resolution with which the dispute can be resolved. So let us see one after another how this helps. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The negotiation. Yeah, the negotiation which talks about it, it can avoid what are the key advantages and the disadvantages in each mechanism. Now we are discussing about the various mechanisms in dispute resolution that you people should understand. Dispute resolution in public private partnership and various mechanisms to resolve it. The key advantages in negotiation is it can avoid time and cost implications of dispute resolution mechanisms escalations. It can resolve disputes faster, leading to a smaller impact on the relationship between the parties. When you involve in negotiation, it will minimize the cost and it will not damage the relationship between two parties. That is very, very important in any partnership. If it damages the relationship and it reduces the trust among the parties, then it will be very difficult for both the parties in future projects or the completion of the projects. And the key advantage of negotiation is the parties themselves have the discretion to agree on the appropriate resolution. If I agree and you agree for the negotiation, the dispute or the discretion or the decision is in the control of both the parties. If it goes to some other third party, then you cannot control it. The disadvantage is if a procuring authority is not adequately prepared, negotiation can result in an outcome that reduces value for money. So that is one disadvantage. It reduces the value of money in the process of negotiation, and it can waste time when the parties are unlikely to agree to mutually acceptable outcome because their views are too far apart. If both the parties are not likely to agree on this process called negotiation, people should not suggest for the negotiation. Otherwise, it will waste the time and it will waste the energy and it will waste the money. So then the last one has the potential to determine an otherwise positive relationship where there is no progress being made. This is again, if there is no potential to determine an otherwise positive relationship, there is no progress being made. That is another important aspect that we should understand in the dispute resolution as a negotiation as a mechanism. So actively seek a negotiated outcome to disagreement and dispute, as such outcomes are the potential to be significantly more efficient. Only the outcome is agreeable and both the parties are really possibly they are going to take appropriate steps to resolve it together. Then appropriately prepare for and assemble adequate resources before entering into negotiation. I know what is the issue and you know what is the issue. If you don't appropriately prepare before we are going for negotiation, it will fail. Consider associated private partners in the resolution of the disagreements and dispute related to them. there will be so many stakeholders in this public-private partnership, and you will have to consider the associated private partners. If some contractor is working on a project, and there will be so many associated partners with them, and they should be taken into consideration while we are going for dispute resolution. This is what is a negotiation. The second one is mediation. Mediation, which is talking about the dispute resolution in the public-private partnership, and it lower the cost than cost proceedings. The court, if you go to court, you will have to pay a lot of money, and you will have to wait for so many days. Or arbitration, and is less likely to damage the relationship. Mediation means there will be a third person who will mediate to resolve the dispute between two parties. There will be a third person who will mediate between the two parties to resolve the dispute on a particular project, and it is highly confidential, and it will not be known by anybody else except both the parties and the mediator. That is one important aspect that you people should notice in this particular mechanism called mediation in the public-private partnership, and more structured than bilateral negotiations. It is more structured because there will be a third person. You will be able to express your disagreement and your potential issues and all such that, and the other person also will be able to share uh, the issues in depth, so that the third person is able to understand the pains and the issues uh, in depth, and he will be able to provide a suitable solution to solve the problem. And the introduction of a third party can help to bring new ideas to the disagreement as well as objectivity. If you involve somebody from a third party, then they will be able to understand in a different perspective, and they will be able to give a good idea. The dispute, the issues which I could not understand, which can be resolved easily, the third party will be able to help us and suggest us, which cannot damage the reputation or financially to any of these parties. That is very, very important when we are talking about this dispute resolution and its mechanisms. And when you talk about the disadvantages, may not lead to a final decision. If parties are far apart to begin with, can be a waste of time. Sometimes this negotiation, the mediation between the both the parties may take a lot of time and lot of resources, more expensive and time consuming than negotiation. Negotiation takes place only between the two parties. Mediation takes place between two parties. There will be a third person between the two parties. So that is the difference between the mediation and the negotiation. Consider mediation where a more structured approach to negotiation is required. Appoint the right mediator for both the parties. You need to appoint a right mediator to both the parties, which is very, very important in the dispute resolution of public-private partnership projects. There will be dispute resolution boards. You can constitute both with the agreement of both the parties. Decisions can be binding or non-binding. The decisions which are made by the dispute resolution boards, sometimes they may make it compulsory, sometimes they may give suggestions, can make recommendations or determinations. They may give valuable suggestions that this is possible and this is possible and this may not be possible. You can follow this. Can guide the parties from the beginning of a disagreement. So this dispute resolution board will guide both the parties on the ways and means how they can move forward without any disputes. And the disadvantages talks about costs are not insignificant, are typically fixed, irrespective of whether a dispute arises during the project term or not. So this when you talk about this dispute resolution board, uh, DRB, we call it as DRB, District Dispute Resolution Board. These dispute resolution boards, they charge for money, and that money is that cost is fixed. You cannot negotiate with them. and utilize dispute resolution board wherever is available. Set up the dispute resolution board before dispute arises, but also consider the changing needs of the dispute resolution board for the project. So generally in the guidelines, it is mentioned that every project should have a dispute resolution board with some experts. These with the understanding or the consent of both the parties, they should constitute the dispute resolution board until unless the project is completed. That should continue, and appoint the right DRB for both the parties. That is very, very important. Expert determination. In expert determination, we need to understand one important thing, that is very, very what we can call um, understand that this expert determination will help us in a specific problems which are too complicated or technical or something like that, can resolve disputes quickly and in a cost effective manner. So when you involve expert determination, a group of experts will come and they will identify what is the actually the dispute is. Some parties they agree for this, and some parties they will not agree for this. But expert determination will help us to microscope the dispute in an effective manner. The determination will typically be contractually binding, subject to certain exceptions. Only appropriate for certain matters of a technical in nature, and not for matters which require the provision of evidence. And determination will not be as enforceable by a court like a court decision or arbitrary award. So this is something different which is very, very important. Wherever available, consider expert determination for dispute that are of a technical nature. So certain issues will not be able to understood or studied by both the parties or some other people, either through negotiation, mediation, or district dispute resolution board and all. But if there are some experts to understand the technicality in that, and those things, so the expert determination is very, very important. This dispute mechanism uh, in the public-private partnership, you will have to appoint the right expert for expert determination. Then only your issue will be resolved. The next one is talking about court proceedings. Court proceedings, all of us know that you will have to proceed to the court for final decision, and it it takes its own time, but it provides a final determination what you have to follow, how much money you should get from the government, and how much money you have to complete, take it, and within how many days you have to complete the project and hand it over to the government, and that is called award of the project, and how much money you can get more, and how much money you need to pay to the your stakeholders and the associate contracts and all such things. It's an adversarial process, and may lead to a deterioration in the relationship. Definitely it is an argumentative. There is an argument between both the parties. I will tell something and you will tell something, and the government will file something else and you will file something else, and there will be a lot of conflicts between both the parties, and it takes a lot of time. Typically the most expensive and time consuming of all dispute resolution mechanisms. The court proceedings will take a lot of time than any other dispute mechanisms in the public private partnership. It's not only with reference to the public private partnership in the society, but also in any conflict, any dispute that is happening in the society. Court proceedings will take a lot of time. It is a time consuming of all dispute resolution mechanisms, but sometimes there will not be any other way than the court proceedings. The final one, this is arbitration. Arbitration provides a final determination, customizable to parties' preferences, can be more efficient in terms of time and cost than court proceedings. arbitration is another mechanism of dispute resolution. When we are talking about is an important what you can call dispute resolution mechanism. When we are looking for some kind of elaboration, this is a form of alternative dispute resolution, is a way to dispute resolve the dispute outside the court. The dispute will be decided by one or more persons. The arbitration is a procedure in which a dispute is submitted by agreement of the parties. Parties means both the parties, to one or more arbitrators who make a binding decision on the dispute. What is the dispute? And they will be making a binding decision. In choosing arbitration, the parties opt for a private dispute resolution procedure instead of going to court. If we go to court, all of us know that how much time it will take, lot of money is to be spent. Otherwise, if you go to a group of experts for the arbitration, and they will be giving you a kind of suitable decision, that is a binding decision on the dispute, that will be more advantageous than the other. So this is the arbitration. So this is an something an augmentative process and can be perceived by members of the public to lack transparency if conducted in a private and the results are confidential. The the procedure in arbitration consider the full implications of moving a dispute to court or arbitration. Choose the right arbitrator. Prepare to provide detailed evidence when moving a dispute to court or arbitration. We should be prepared fully when we are moving out of your control. If it is mediation, it is in your control. If it is negotiation, it is in your control. Otherwise, if you go to court proceedings, if you go for arbitration, if you go for this dispute resolution board, you will have to be very cautious, and you will have to be with adequate information in your hand, what the issue is exactly, what the arbitration, what that dispute arised between both the parties. All such things are very, very important. Okay. Are you all following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now your feedback or your questions, anything about this particular session, public private partnership and dispute resolution mechanisms. Yes, Rajesh.
Hello.
Yes, Rajesh, please talk.
Say it is a when making contract they will specify all those specifications. Sir.
Yeah.
If any conflict arise, we need to follow certain principle steps.
Yes.
Like that.
Generally, what happens at the time of signing the contract, nobody will be able to forecast what kind of issues will arise, what kind of disputes will come in between. So there may be some huge heavy rains, some floods, some climate related problems, some weather related problems. They could not complete the project on time, but on the agreement they have signed for 3 years. but it is not completed within 3 years. The government will put pressure on them. You told that you will
Yes.
complete within 3 years, but you are not completing. So we will reduce the project cost. Then then the private party will not agree for that. So this kind of the disputes. In some cases, what happens? The project cost was estimated 10 years ago was different, and now now 10 years are over. Now the project cost will be something different. So the private entity will ask them to enhance the project cost, and the public people, they will say that already you have agreed on so and so, and we will not provide you any additional amount. So this kind of disputes will arise in between. Srikanta,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Sir, I have one question, sir. If after partnership deed means one private party is agree to deed with one government parties. After that, after 1 year, 2 year, if some problem is arising and he's not agreed to or work, then what are the penalty for private parties?
There will be legal proceedings. They will their money will not be released, and they will be penalized, and they will have to go to the court, and they will have to their assets will be what you can call attached to the government through ED. So these kind of things will be there. Definitely, there will be a kind of punishment to these people.
Hello, sir. Like,
Clement, yes, please.
sir, I have detect glitch because like I'm outside trying to help people here. So some
Okay, okay,
people
you
needs.
proceed, you
I have
proceed,
to. Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
you proceed.
Have a
Yeah,
great day,
I
all of you.
yeah, yeah. Okay, Clement, you can proceed. Welcome, Lakum. Lakum.
Yes, yes. Hello.